and gentlemen, it's time for Big Wil Spotlight. We're going to discuss movies the Oscars don't care about. We're going to discuss movies that you care about. So go ahead, get yourself something to eat. Get yourself something to drink. Sit back and relax with your popcorn and your date as we go to Big Wil Spotlight with your hosts, Big Wil, Dr. Quack, and the important one, Mr. Mayhem.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Big Wil Spotlight. I am your host, Big Wil.
And I'm the important one, Mr. Mayhem. And it's time for the Backlot Brawl.
It is time for a backlot brawl. Had this crazy idea of actually taking the wrestling characters and having them duke it out. I would almost guarantee that this is one of its kind.
There you go. And last show, we kind of figured out who we're going to have, who's going to be here brawling with us. So we've got one of those people that was here. Unfortunately, Jordan Drake is unavailable. So we've got coming on the show, help us figure this little battle out, Brick Johnson. All righty. And as we discussed last time, just for a quick overview, if you missed it last time, first of all, shame on you for missing it.
Shame on you. You have to go back and watch that one now because you don't know what movies we're talking about.
Well, there you go. But we chose characters that were played by wrestlers, but they couldn't have played a wrestler. So
it is not their wrestling persona. It is the character from the movie.
Right. And we also took out some characters like superheroes. So you won't see Black Adam in here. You're not going to see Batista's character from Guardians of the Galaxy.
You're not going to see Drax. You're not going to see, any of the superheroes. You're not going to
right.
People of nuclear power. Sure, why not?
Well, yeah, there is one.
There's one mutant and one vampire. I'll throw that one out.
Well, not a mutant. He's an alien.
Rocksteady.
Well, okay, 3.
Yeah, mutant. I gave one away, but we'll get to that match.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you the two as they were pulled up by a randomizer.
Totally random. We didn't pick this, and the guy that's supposed to go over my list with me, he didn't show up. So
it's okay. So we're gonna go over this, and Brick, you're going to kind of help us figure this out. We're all going to kind of discuss it. And at the end of this 16-man tournament, we're going to figure out who's the best backlot character.
There you go. All right. We want to jump into this. You got something to say?
No, I'm ready when you guys are ready.
All right.
Let's beat them down. Who we got first?
We're going to start on this page. I got lots of notes today. So we've got Jack Conrad, played by Steve Austin from The Condemned, and Jarko Grimwood, played by Triple H in Blade 3. Ooh. So, yes, it is Jack Conrad versus Jarko Grimwood.
Man.
So the Triple H character, does he have super strengths as he's a vampire or no?
He's a vampire. And the reason why we let this one go through is because he does have weaknesses
that the average human can exploit.
Okay.
So, yes, Jack Conrad from The Condemned versus Jarko Grimwood in Blade 3.
What was Jarko's weaknesses then?
Most vampires, daylight, stake through the heart.
Silver, no, not silver so much, but crucifix.
So what's the mutual playing ground for this? Like, where do they meet?
That's for us to figure out.
Well, this Black Brawl started at noon, so this is the first match.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just in a backyard brawl kind of thing.
Jack Conrad over Diaper Face. Oh, wow. Yeah, I would go with Jack Conrad as well. From the standpoint of he was FBI. He was somebody who had some skills and ended up in jail. Ended up going out to this condemned island. So yes, he's going to find something, some piece of wood somewhere, and is going to be able to, use the scenery more to his advantage. Grimwood was kind of arrogant. He would think he's got all the advantage. I think he would easily get led into a situation that would take him down. I also agree with Dr. Quack. I'd say Jack Conrad.
I go with Jack Conrad because of, like I say, I mean, we got this backlot brawl going on like right now outside.
Okay.
It's
so it's a mutual. So it's kind of like a mutual, like just background kind of thing. I mean, if you're out in the open, right? Because like, was Jack Conrad was more like a strategist or no, or could he just go out there and just brawl?
He could fight too because he had to kill people that were trying to kill him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the background for not, thinking twice about killing somebody. Invented weapons out in the middle of the jungle, and I mean, I think some of them.
But strength and speed, you'd have to give it to Jarko. I mean, strength and speed kind of outweighs. You can maneuver, you could do this, you could do that, but with that speed and strength, I'm gonna have to go with Jarko on this one.
He's out there in full leather with a helmet on right now to block out sunlight.
Okay.
But backlot, he found a broom handle in the dumpster or something. I'm thinking it's Jack Conrad. So right now it's 2-1. Yeah.
Well, we'll hold on that one just for a minute here and see if anybody else wants to chime in on that one. Let's move on to the next one. We'll come back to that.
Okay. We got Jacob Goodnight from See No Evil, played by the great Kane, and Beck, The Rock in The Rundown.
Oh, Kane, the guy from See No Evil. There's just no way. I think his strength would just outmatch The Rock's character easily.
Yeah, the Rock in The Rundown, or Beck in The Rundown, he could fight, but he didn't want to. He was more of
didn't like guns.
He didn't like guns, but he didn't like to fight either. He was trying to retire, go be a cook. And Jacob Goodnight, as a sadistic serial killer, he would enjoy it a whole lot more. I would take Jacob Goodnight as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Get that one out the way. The Rock is already gone. What?
That was I was just saying, like, if you're looking at strengths and strategy, the one's a serial killer, he's kind of stronger than the other one. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it'd be a very fun. I think that guy's gonna go pretty far. He might go final, so
yeah, he may very well. And to go with it a little bit, you got to take into account, we picked it from movies where they weren't like, super enhanced or anything like that. So no, we didn't go with Hercules or the Scorpion King or anything like that. There were a million Rock movies. This was the most down to earth, I guess, is more along the line.
Without being put into a franchise, this movie was pretty much him with his name.
Yeah. All right. So then next, we've got Rocksteady, played by Sheamus, in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Yes, that's why I was pointing out that we have some that have mutated powers, not given powers. And going up against GR55 from Universal Soldier, played by Tommy Lister.
Didn't we say like Sheamus' character was kind of dumb?
Yeah, he's not smart. Rocksteady's not smart.
Not smart. He was a
Rocksteady.
So I mean,
what was the other guy?
GR55, the Tom Lister character from Universal
the
Soldier.
original Universal Soldier.
Yeah, I would probably go with that guy. He knows war. He knows strategy. The other guy's kind of not all the way there. I'm pretty sure he's going to slip up, even though he's mutated. You can't really beat a super. It's kind of hard to beat a soldier.
I'm fine with that idea. I mean, yeah, GR55 does have weaknesses, and that he's got to be kept pretty cool. If this, if it's taking place later in the day, the heat could hurt him. Yeah, he's not so much that he's undead. He was brought back to life. He can be killed.
They weren't dead. They weren't undead. They were labeled dead in battle so that their minds could be kept.
Right.
Yeah. So they aren't undead.
But Rocksteady, yeah. I mean, when you look at Bebop and Rocksteady, they both get humiliated all the time because of their lack of intelligence. So I would go with GR55.
I agree with all of that.
GR55. Okay.
Ended up being the winner of that one. I mean, don't get me wrong, Seamus, love you, but it would be that would be a pretty good battle to watch, though.
It would be interesting. That would be a long battle.
That would be a pretty good battle. All right, started off on this page because I know that somebody is out there watching right now, and this is their absolute favorite character of all time for some reason. But we've got George Nada from They Live, played by Rowdy Piper, up against Sub-Zero, played by Professor Tanaka in The Running Man.
Now,
go ahead.
Is this like Sub-Zero from like the Mortal Kombat?
No. This is the Running Man. He's a his
they
job
called hunters. What were they called?
Basically, he was a
he was the gladiator kind of people that worked for the TV show that went and killed the people who were forced to run through the gauntlet.
Yeah, and this Sub-Zero is a hockey goalie.
It may be the premise for why they called the guy Sub-Zero and created Sub-Zero for Mortal Kombat 2.
Possibly.
Except for
this was interesting from the standpoint of Sub-Zero has his hockey stick that's got a blade on it, and he does have hockey pucks that do explode.
And then you got, what's the other guy?
George Nada,
Rowdy Piper. Who?
George Nada from They Live.
George Nada. And he has guns, right?
Got guns.
Yeah, he's a cop that had special sunglasses that let him see the aliens.
This one's tough.
I think I'm going to have to give kind of the edge to probably... Ooh. I mean, if you can see with those glasses and those... But if he gets those knocked off, does that make him a weak?
No, they basically They Live. Those sunglasses gave the ability to tell who was an alien and who was a human. That's all it did.
And then what? Was he like special force trained or?
He was just a police officer. He was just a cop.
And then I'm gonna have to go with Sub-Zero then, because Sub-Zero probably has other training. I mean, if he has like. Obviously, he's going to be good with that hockey puck, the hockey pucks, and the hockey stick. Yeah.
The only advantage is he really works on ice, and George Nada's worked in the city. But
I mean, give him a pair of rollerblades,
Yeah. I think I agree. I think Sub-Zero.
All right.
The professional assassin against the policeman. I'm going to take the professional assassin on that one.
I'm one of those professionals. Yeah.
Move over to the other side, or we want to get this down to...
We'll go the other side. Right. So let's finish up the first round.
So we don't have to explain everybody all over again.
So are we going with the Stone Cold's character then?
I believe we are.
I mean, 2-1. I would have to say 2-1. Yeah.
Right. So
just so you get that bracket part done.
All right. So we got Jack Conrad versus Jacob Goodnight now. Ooh. And again,
Jacob.
He goes for Jacob.
Wow. Wow.
Dramatic pause there.
I think I go Jacob Goodnight too. I mean,
I don't know if I will go with Jacob on this one, just because of the fact that he primarily would be working in the dark. This is an outside thing. He's going to be completely visible to his opponent. There's no hiding. There's no jump. There's
well, fair. But just because they're fighting outside, it's the back lot. They could go inside at a warehouse.
no.
But he has that strength too, where
Well, they both have strength, but I think they both got kind of a sadistic edge to them, but one seems to enjoy it more.
All right, so I'm guessing that Jacob Goodnight has moved on in the brackets. All right. So now we got GR55 versus Sub-Zero.
ooh,
Well, if this was to end up taking place in a cooler climate on ice kind of thing, I mean, GR55 is going to be in his element. He's not going to end up overheating.
True, that's what I was thinking. And I'm taking, a professional assassin, yeah, but a professional soldier, top tier special forces type soldier.
GR55 then. Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking too.
Wow, GR55 moving on. All right. So now we got Jacob Goodnight versus GR55.
I think it's that special forces top tier soldier GR55 because he has all that strategy and all the.
I'm thinking that too, from the standpoint going through some of that type of training, you pick up that sixth sense of things going on around you. So if he's trying to work in the dark, well, GR55 would be ready for that.
All right. Well, GR55 has made it into the finals. What? See, this is what happens when people leave us alone.
Yeah.
Oh, now we're going to move on to the other side. Oh, we've got the Russian from the Punisher movies, the Tom Jane version. You got no Dolph Lundgren, no Ray Stevenson. This is the Thomas version. So he's the Russian. Kevin Nash plays the Russian in The Punisher. And then this is the one first, got to put out there, kids, this is not the real Santa. This is a character played by somebody else in a movie that you should not have seen. We got Santa played by Goldberg in Santa's Sleigh.
Wow.
So we've got a Russian against Santa.
I'd have to go Russian.
Well, that Santa's pretty twisted, but he's not very strategic.
He's still Santa.
I think I'm also fine with the Russian as well.
All right. And for those of you who didn't know, one of the actual scenes that you do get to see is Kevin Nash actually getting stabbed for real.
Yeah.
Wow, that was quick. Lol.
We talk about Russians and the German shows up.
I need to fix my tone here, so give me a bit.
But the Russian has moved on then.
All right. And once Mr. Smith finishes up, we can see if he agrees with our thoughts here. So let's move on.
All of them, or just
well, just real quick. But when he comes up, so what's the next one here?
We've got Michael Myers from Halloween, played by Tyler Mane, versus Tong Po played by Batista in Kickboxer Vengeance.
The kickboxer.
Sound fixed? Perfect.
Sound better?
We
Yes.
hear you.
All right. So, what we're doing, Mr. Smith, is we're going over the backlot brawl, the characters that were played by wrestlers who were not superheroes are doing battle in their characters version, not the wrestlers, the characters doing battle. We're trying
Okay,
to
sounds
figure it
good.
out. So the one we're on now, the Michael Myers character played by Tyler Mane, that's the Rob Zombie version, against Tong Po from Kickboxer Vengeance, played by Dave Bautista.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
You said is it Toto? You said or
Tong,
Tonto?
Tong Po.
Tonto.
I think
I'm going with the Batista one because Mike Myers is he got some knife. He can sneak around, but he doesn't have that kickboxing. Because what does he really have other than like a slasher?
yeah, I kind of agree from the standpoint of Michael Myers tends to kill people who can't defend themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually dark and mysterious, but so I mean, Tong Po all around is pretty much probably Tong
A
Po
top tier
will be
kickboxer.
Myers. Everybody agrees, but you. So Tong Po has moved on.
All righty. Now, this was my favorite.
All right, now for our next favorite one. We have Fezzik, played by Andre the Giant in Princess Bride, versus John Triton, played by John Cena in The Marine.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Anybody? You are the Brute Squad.
Okay. I must gotta go with Andre the Giant here because the Marine movies of before the Mist played it deeply sucked, and I was be like when the Mist is gonna be involving more into the Marine movies, it actually kind of getting better there, and Andre the Giant playing that character, it's just like pretty better fitting there. And John Cena, well, he better was still stuck in the top 12 rounds film movies instead of the Marine.
Yeah, but with the Marine as well, the guy's trained special forces. I mean, he has the tactical advantage. He knows land. He knows strategy. He could probably take out because, what's the for the Princess Bride? He was just tall, right? Tall and strong.
He was strong. I mean, he could, bust your head open with a rock from 100 yards.
Yeah.
Okay. But being the strategist from the Marine, you wouldn't be within 100 yards then. But if it's a backward brawl, you would be. I guess it depends on who's faster. I would say John Cena from the Marine.
I'm leaning towards Fezzik from the standpoint of they put over heavily in Princess Bride. Fezzik can beat up 5, 10, 15 people. The only reason he lost to Carrie Elwes' character was that Carrie Elwes was being a sword fighter, understood getting around behind and putting a chokehold on, but he still took a lot of abuse getting beat on by The Rock. He just, his motivation, it wasn't just survival. He had a higher calling to say Princess Buttercup. John Triton wouldn't have that same motivation.
He wouldn't have the motivation, the training. I don't know. I mean, sometimes, way to get the biggest person in the forest down is by chopping them knees out from under him. But
they established that Fezzik can handle multiple attacks at the same time, so he would be used to that. Someone go high, someone go low advantage, or
so
attack.
John Triton would probably end up wearing himself out faster than Fezzik, would give up. So how about that one?
Okay.
All right, so Fezzik has moved on.
Okay.
Now this is the one
This
that
could be interesting.
I don't know how this ended up. This is completely randomized. It's not picked by us in the slightest little bit. So this was not a planned battle here. All right. We have Blaine Cooper from The Predator, played by Jesse Ventura,
Oh, jeez.
against Shep Ramsey, played by Hulk Hogan in Suburban Commando.
Oh,
The reason this is funny is in real life, Jesse Ventura and Hulk Hogan absolutely hate each other because of backstage politics involved in wrestling.
But were you saying like the Jesse's character was like sadistic and crazy and was like
He wasn't sadistic, he was mean.
He I don't even know if I could say so much mean as much as he was the epitome of macho-ness.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, he sat there and
he enjoyed violence, just a big top thug?
make you a sexual tyrannosaurus just like me. Boom! I remembered it now. All right.
And then what about Hogan's character then?
Shep Ramsey is a
He's an alien that crash landed basically on Earth, and we won't say he has any kind of superpowers other than the fact that
he's a little bit stronger than the average person.
And he's hilarious in this movie. I'll give him that one. Just because he's not from here, he's trying to blend in with the regular person, which he can't really do because he doesn't know the ways. So.
But Shep Ramsey, he worked for an agency, an intergalactic agency that try and help people by fighting supervillains.
I'd have to go with the other guy, with Jesse's character, because it just seems like you would have a little bit more of the advantage, maybe, because like special training,
Because
just being a top.
He would be part of a Delta Force kind of crew, yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, knows how to kill people, with like just his thumb.
It's right there, by the way.
What you thinking there, Justin?
Ooh, well, I gotta go with Jesse Ventura here because I do already mention that in Big Wil Spotlight, the only role that Hulk Hogan can portray that damn well and survive in a brawl would be Thunder Lips from Rocky. But overall, Hulk Hogan's acting skills are... So I gotta go with Jesse Ventura here.
Well, we're not going so much with the acting. We're looking at their strengths as a character.
Yeah,
and I think with the more superior training, like being on a Delta Force, it kind of gives you a leg up. I feel like in most situations.
I would go with Blaine Cooper as well from the standpoint. Yes, Shep Ramsey did win the battle, but he had help. Like the Undertaker character, the bounty hunter character, beat himself. Hulk Hogan didn't beat him. Hulk Hogan didn't beat the alien at the end. Christopher Lloyd did.
Right.
So I would take as well.
All right. So Blaine has moved on. All right. So now we've got it down to 4 on this side. Okay. So now we got to go back up and we start with the Russian versus Tong Po.
And now, Justin, as you were just missing it when you came in, this is the Kevin Nash version of the Russian in the movie The Punisher.
Versus Tong Po from Kickboxer Vengeance.
What's the guy from Punisher? What's his special skills?
That he, like, is.
And he's simply
It's
Russian.
like the unbeatable kind of Russian character that is like traditional, I guess. I mean, sit there and you hit him, and he like looks at you and then smiles.
Well, then I would go with him because Tom Poe only has the kickboxing, and I mean, he's a strong character. But if you're going to get someone that is
Eventually,
like,
Poe did get beat, so
Yep. All right, we
And
got someone.
especially the Russian needs some specialty water there. If you know, now you know.
There you go. We got somebody brand new to Big Will Spotlight. Leo, welcome.
I mean that water, by the way.
All right. So Leo, what we're talking about here is the character, the Russian, played by Kevin Nash from The Punisher, against Tong Po, played by Dave Bautista from Kickboxer Vengeance. The characters, who do you think would win in a fight? The Russian or Tong Po?
I would have to pick the Russian.
Yeah.
hey, look, you didn't vote for the Russian. You're wrong.
Hey, it's my choice.
Yeah, I was
my
going with the
choice.
Russian too. So
Yes, I mean, the Russian. I mean, I truly, I didn't even know it was Kevin Nash until I was looking this stuff up. Like, oh my God, that was Kevin Nash.
yeah, he didn't tear a
Dyed
quad.
hair.
Didn't even look like him. All right, and then we end up having Fezzik versus Blaine.
I'm gonna have to go with Blaine on this one.
We're gonna go with
Even
Blaine
though Fezzik's like strong, I mean, the guy from Delta has a purpose, has a motive, has training, can find those weak spots. I think he could find that weak spot.
Well, the Predator found the weak spot. It was right here.
Oh, it started here.
Yeah, I blew his arms off too. Yeah.
But I mean, we're just to go back just a little bit because you kicked John Triton out of there for.
Yeah. I haven't.
Yeah.
I know, but I mean, because in the Predator, the only thing that they end up seeing of his training is him having that damn minigun and chopping the forest down.
Yeah.
You don't get the whole,
He picked that minigun up from Bill Duke. Yeah, that wasn't his gun.
that
He
was
carried the
it.
shotgun.
No.
Yeah.
Or no, it's backwards.
You have it
It's
backwards.
either backwards.
Yeah,
My
the other guy
apologies.
picked it up from him because
Right.
they were like,
I got it.
break it.
best friends.
So is he using his gun then? Because like if he's using his gun compared to someone that's strong, like that, bullets beat strength anytime.
Sometimes.
And I'm kind of on that same thing of, yeah, John Triton would have used guns, but the way they portrayed him in the Marine, he was more hand to hand. Blaine was not hand to hand.
No.
So I think that he'd get a lot of peanuts.
But we're changing the rules here. We haven't had a weapon involved.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, we did. We just ignored him like Santa Slay.
Will
Goldberg.
is gonna be like, screw the rules. I have money. God damn it.
just, you the minigun out the fucking line.
I broke Leo. Woo!
So what's the case for Fezzik then? What would he bring to this, and how could he beat him? Like,
Well, he would throw whatever he found. He could throw a dumpster at him.
Yeah, I mean that's why I'm saying. I mean, most of this we don't have weapons involved in it. So
then how would you have a dumpster then? But like, but is he strong enough to pick that up and throw it back at him as well?
Well, Blaine would end up being more. I mean, I won't say average human, by
Yeah,
any
he's
means,
definitely.
but
But he's human. Fezzik is too, but they put Fezzik over his strength that he's picking up rocks, boulders this size and throwing it like a fastball.
Yeah. So,
So
but
if we take the weapon thing out of it,
well,
or-
they were
or
already doing
improvise.
that before I even pointed out he was the one with the mini gun, the Delta Force trained kind of thing. So, I mean, that was just Brick. I don't think we got anybody else's.
no, we haven't got anybody else's opinion yet.
No weapons.
Well, if you're going with
improvise.
just training and strength, I mean, yeah, as a Fezzik could throw stuff, but the other guy could duck, could move around.
Yeah.
He could be faster too.
So you got Blaine. We got that. Justin, come on.
Wait, just give me a second. I gotta go
Why
with
would
Andre
you
the
put
Giant
that?
here.
You don't have money, Purge. We all know
or
you
Leo,
broke.
what do you think?
I
You
don't
saw
know, man.
that Star Wars meme too.
I mean, yeah, it's an open discussion. That's what we're here for. So let's hear it.
Open discussion.
I mean, it's kind of hard because you can be fast, but you can only dodge for so quick. Like,
You too.
honestly,
Yeah,
you could
and
be-
strength can only go so far. If you're strong too, you can only use that for so long, and then you get fatigue as well.
Yeah, you get like
That's
drained
like-
so bad.
That's like playing Skyrim on hard level and die in the first moment.
It's just like, what the fuck?
What the fuck, bro?
What happened?
I mean,
I'm leaning to Fezzik.
I mean, I don't know where we're at on the score right now either.
1-1. It's 1-1 with 3 undecideds.
I mean, I love Andre the Giant. I even found out more about him. I always thought that it was just his gigantism that made it where it was hard for you to understand what he was saying. No, it's because he was French.
well, yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah, but a guy his size, you can't really do much. Like
Andre
he-
the Giant.
you got to chime in? What?
What you got, Purge?
I still gotta go with Andre the Giant here.
There you go. So 2 to Fezzik.
It's got
But
two.
why? I want to know your side on your part of it. Like, why are you going with like the giant?
I mean, basically, when you go into the character deployment, you're still gonna figure it out. What is the character in depth about Andre the Giant? And while that we have Batista on the other side, he can spinebuster your ass into the oblivion. Yes, we all know that. But the problem is, you need to see what is the character deployment and what is his strength of it. And I think the strength is on the more side of Andre the Giant than in Dave Bautista.
What about
Well, we're not doing that. We're doing as a Bradley
I
that's a guy
love going
from
into in-depth analytics. So that's why you are retired from Promo World, right?
I mean, the way I see it is you have one that's not really trained in anything and one guy that's trained.
Well, and while we're discussing it, since we've got people watching it, what do you guys say out there that are watching it? You think it's Fezzik or you think it's Blaine?
I think it's Blaine because he has like I said, that training I think is over Fezzik because Fezzik might just have, the strength, but does he have any strategies? Does he have any others? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, guess who gets to be the deciding factor on this one? Nobody else has chimed in over here, so they don't get a vote anyway. It's going to end up being Blaine.
All right.
It's going to end up being Blaine because, I mean, sorry, Fezzik did end up getting beat by a little munchkin of a man. So
He was the Brute Squad.
he was the Brute Squad. That's right. So Blaine just being specially trained and everything like that is going to end up.
All right.
Guess
going
what?
and
He
beating-
got blamed.
Is that Blaine?
He got blamed.
He got blamed.
All right. So
All
now we
right,
got
so-
the finals for this side.
We got the finals for this side. We're going to have the Russian versus Blaine.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I'm going Blaine.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh, that's two Blaines.
I have to
gotta
go to
with
Russian
Blaine
because he's like,
true Russians.
because if we're looking at the Russian, he's like, unbeatable, right?
Well, I mean, he does get beat. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a Punisher movie.
Yeah.
That would have
called
been
the Russian.
That was it. No more Punisher.
Otherwise, they've been called the Russian.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Every character is not unbeatable. They have those weak
I
points.
mean, there have been several people that there have been 100 movies made about that have already been kicked out of this tournament.
See? Hell, even you can. Spider-Man have his own weakness. He needs to get his cape stuck in some turbine and got sucked up by that.
I mean,
In case if you haven't watched the Incredible movies yet, this was a reference by that.
I can see where you guys going with Blaine. I can see that.
We're getting into where the summer months are happening. DC's getting ready to have some more movies come out. So, I mean, we are going to end up having another comic battle here in the not too distant future. But now we just got to figure out if it's Blaine or the Russian.
I'm going with Blaine.
I still up for it that you need to discuss some German movies there. Duh.
Is there any special skills with the Russian other than he was like? Was he trained as well, or?
I have a true background on him. I did not, go and look up each, Marvel character and, see if they had a background on him. But at the same time, we don't know Blaine's background other than the fact he's on a Delta Force squad.
Yeah, so we're just going with what we've seen.
So we know that he was trained this way. I mean, the
Right.
Russians were around in like the Russian boat crew kind of thing. So I'm sure that they have their form of special forces also, or not special forces, Navy SEAL kind of thing for the Russian. But like I say, don't know the true background. We're going by the movie.
Well, who did he kill a lot of people or no? I haven't really seen.
He was Jigsaw's missile,
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Blaine from the standpoint of he got killed because of an alien. The Russian got beaten by a human.
Okay.
So we're liking Blaine for this one then.
Sounds like it.
We would like to get blamed on this.
All right.
Blaine all around on that one. Wow. So now, this is probably going to be the hardest one to talk about.
Yeah.
All right.
The finals.
The final one. It's Blaine versus GR55.
Yeah, GR55, the Tiny Lister character from the first Universal Soldier.
Who was the GI-55, by the way?
Tiny Lister.
Tiny Lister. Zeus.
Oh, dude. Oh.
Yeah, the first Universal Soldier.
The first one, yes. Jean-Claude
So
Van Damme,
they're both skilled.
They're both
They're both skilled. They're both trained. I guess whoever has the better tactical advantage. I guess.
I mean, that's where it kind of boils down to.
I mean, you have to get down to the nitty gritty on this one, because like in Universal Soldier, what did he have any people like help him kill people, or did he like?
He was part of a team.
he was part of a team. Same thing with Blaine. He was part of a team.
And he's a trained assassin, right?
They're both trained to kill. I mean, it's the way it is. It's just the biggest difference is that this is where my point is gonna end up boiling down to, but I'll give my response at a later time. Blaine was not in combat, been officially killed for government purposes, and basically brought in to enhance. They're not really enhanced either. They're just
They are slightly enhanced from the standpoint of they give them like vitamins that increase their strength a little bit. It's
Okay.
more purifies the weaknesses out of humans by, it's not steroids, but it's
stamina. It helps their
Yeah.
stamina. There we go. Because
And then GR55 is pretty much undead, right?
we don't want to. We're not, like I say, we're not doing the whole.
Okay.
Claude Van
Is
Damme
he?
dead.
Did,
He remembered his life and tried to get back into his.
Yeah,
life.
they were basically found at death's door, got declared dead, and then the special agency took over, trying to wipe their minds and just create
So
fighters.
they're
okay. Was there any like special like stuff put in him for?
Well, they
I won't. That's why I'm saying we're not going that far. It's not
Yeah.
like they're cyborgs or anything like that.
No, but was he like pumped with any? Because if you're gonna go with vitamins for the other guy, did he have any kind of special ability or special like strength? Was he super strength or no?
It was slightly enhanced.
slightly
It's
enhanced.
not. It wasn't like they.
Yeah, I sent you the list. You didn't watch any of the movies?
Sorry. So if they both go into an open field with like, let's say, open field with both having same tactical with nothing hiding anything else, who wins a straight out fight?
That's what we're going for, and it's just like I pointed out with GR55. He's an emotionless soldier who. It doesn't seem like they reacted very well to. They're getting shot at. They take bullets instead of
Falling?
dodging from them.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so
well, I guess.
it's somewhat mechanical.
Okay, so if it's he's like on automatic mode almost.
Yeah.
It's just pure automatic with no motionless kind of person. He's just in auto mode, and then Brad. What was the other guy? Blaine. He has emotions. Now, does he? That's the thing. Is like, does he use that automatic as an advantage of them just like being motionless? Because if they're motionless and they don't, and the other senses are not heightened, does he take that as an advantage?
Well, that's why I'm saying. I mean, we kind of eliminate. Well, I can't say we eliminated weapons. There's no guns. There we go. There.
Okay.
So this is a backstreet brawl with whatever you found in the dumpster, whatever's laying on the ground. I mean, to me,
but he could almost calculate him going automatic. So if he uses, say, like the rocks, or if he uses something that could make him block a certain way, wouldn't he have just a little bit more of advantage? Because he's more human.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Talking about, because he doesn't feel pain. I don't know if it's so much they don't feel it. They don't register it. Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure the sparks are going off in the brain and everything like that, but would sit there and get hit by a bullet and not even react to it, just keep on going about his mission. Well, his mission now is to take out Blaine. I mean, it
I'm
is
gonna
what
go
it
Blaine.
is. So, I mean, but see, Blaine's going to sit there and hit him with everything he's got. And I mean, eventually,
Blade was very forward. He wasn't going to sneak around and do anything. He comes straight at you.
losing people.
Yeah.
So that kind of puts both of them at a stalemate too, then, because they're both going forward. No one's really using defense.
Well, that's why I would imagine Blaine has some kind of a defense, but you know,
emotional defense if nothing else.
I mean, he's going to try and move away from being hit, whereas it didn't make a difference to GR55 to get hit.
Right.
I mean, eventually it would, I'm sure. You know, you kick somebody in the leg enough times, they're gonna eventually not be able to use it.
I'm gonna go with Blaine.
And that's where the argument would have gone with. I would have called for Blaine.
I was leaning GR55 from the standpoint of he keeps going. You can't break him except his body.
Which body eventually gives up.
Eventually break down, but a lot of times the mind will tell the body you're broke before you're actually broke. So
true. And then Blaine could get frustrated because he's throwing everything at him and not getting any advantage.
I eventually believe he would have made it where the GR55 wasn't able to do anything. I mean,
well, that is true because GR55 only will know what he knows. Since he's on autopilot, or for lack of a better terms, he's going to do the same way every time, and adding the human factor in also of solve the problem. Well, that didn't work. Let me try something else. Well, that didn't work. Let me try something else. So I can see that Blaine argument.
Yeah.
Never expected it to be at this point. I thought this was going to end up some other completely way, and then just end up arguing the point down for Blaine to end up being the winner of this.
There it is.
All right. Oh, boy. That was kind of tough to get through, especially some of these matches.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I lost a viewer because the horror movie person, didn't make it into the finals. They were eliminated like first round.
Well,
good.
I mean, when you're preying on someone that's defenseless and you're going against someone that's skilled, that's not defenseless, that kind of takes out that advantage,
There you go.
I mean, yeah, the point was that for a lot of this is that Blaine got killed by an alien, okay? I mean, special weapons, they had no. I mean, it eventually took for Arnold Schwarzenegger to end up,
drop a tree on him,
covered in mud, so that the guy couldn't see him. It was like that was the only that when they finally found that for an advantage, that was the only time that they were able to do anything. Yep. But until that point, I mean, this guy was just that alien was just gonna take them all out. So I mean, to put it all in, he was the only one. Well, nobody was really an alien or anything in this. I can't say not an alien. I mean,
right.
Suburban Commando was an alien, but yeah. I mean, it was the fact that he didn't really have.
He had nothing special.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that if it would have been a fair fight for the Predator, I mean, just like when Arnold and him did finally duke it out, Blaine may have had the same kind of thing if it would have been Arnold that got taken out and Blaine still would have been around.
There you go.
I mean, any one of them, that Indian, oh my God.
Tracker.
Yeah. I would have put my money on him in a heartbeat.
Yeah. All righty. Well, we got our winner.
We got our winner. And been concentrating on this so much, I didn't even plan for next week's show.
So you're going to have to tune in to find out what we're going to talk about on the next Big Will Spotlight.
All right. So Blaine is the all-out winner of this contest for a backlot brawl. And if you had any, if you had some suggestions on why we could always go back and revisit.
There you go.
So anyway, this has gone on long enough.
There you go.
We'll see you next week.